the energy in that stadium.
It was when you ran onto the pitch.
I remember reading that and feeling like.
I mean, it's a perfect transition to move on to Fulham, isn't it? Obviously,
Yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned it. Fulham is a massive moment in Crawley seasons so far. Carabao Cup match for anyone that doesn't know. You just beaten Bristol Rovers in the first round. I think it was 1-0, wasn't it?
Yes.
I was at that game. Of course, I should
You
know
should
the
know.
score.
You should know.
I should know. You come up against Fulham in the next match. They're starting some big players. Kevin Mbabu, Joe Bryan, Tom Kearney. Kearney. It's a
Kearney.
Kearney.
Kenny's Scottish.
It's a D up on the pitch as well. Like there's some huge players to come up against a League Two side. You go into it, you're obviously the underdogs. You come out as 2-0 winners. I don't know how else to describe it. It was an absolutely unbelievable night. How can you describe that? What was it like? What was going through your head?
I want to say the week leading up to that felt like it was like Christmas, a final exam, and like you had a surgery all on the same day. It really just felt like, this was like the ultimate test, and like it happened way sooner, I think, than we thought we would ever play a Premier team, right? Mm-hmm. Like I don't know how to describe it still. I had so much anxiety the morning I woke up that I was just like shaking the whole day. There are film crews everywhere. I was getting asked questions that I didn't have an answer for, or didn't even know how to like even give a like response to. The fans were like, I mean, it was just the energy in that stadium pre-game, like before even half the people in there, was more than I've ever seen at any other game. Unreal.
An unreal night. So obviously, you win 2-0, massive win. You're through against Burnley in the next round, Burnley away as well. The biggest thing to come away from that match, though, apart from James Balagizi having an absolutely...
He killed it.
Yeah, unbelievable performance. The kind of biggest thing to come out of that match was when you gormlessly ran onto the pitch.
You're quoting someone there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm quoting Simon Jordan. It all kicked off after that. There was a pitch invasion with the Crawley fans. It was quite a surreal night, and you joined the fans, right? Can you describe that scenario for us? When you decided to run on.
So the first thing I'll say to that is, one, I don't endorse pitch invasions.
It's a smart thing to say.
And I understand why now after the fact. I think it's a great learning experience. I think it also kind of highlighted some areas that I needed to be like educated in a little bit. So, that being said, it was one of those moments where I think emotions and everything kind of got over me, and I wasn't truly aware of what the implications of running on there were. Mm-hmm. It was still a special moment for me. It's something that I'll remember.
Well, that's the thing, because on one hand, you can have these surreal moments where if the authorities look after things, Aguero scores, Man City fans are on the pitch.
they don't. The FA don't really.
Exactly.
There was not an FA story after that.
Oh no, there wasn't, because it was such a big moment.
At the end of the season, that happens at almost every club where something happens at the end of the day. You expect it.
And when it
stewards don't.
When it looks so good on camera, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good for the business. It's good for Sky.
On the other side of things, things can go horrifically wrong sometimes.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Of course, right. This scenario, that didn't happen. This is a different environment. Things were taken care of perfectly well. In the time that you were running on the pitch, obviously you see all the fans. Obviously you're going mental. You're thinking, God, this is the best day of my life. We've just beaten Fulham. Did you know it was the wrong thing to do at the time? Did you have any idea?
I waited like a couple minutes before even thinking about going on the field. I think when I looked out and I saw like everybody out there, I think there was like film crews and stuff. I was just like, go, like run, like go join them. Not even knowing, still at that time, it was just like, I don't want to get involved in like the mess, because I felt like that actually might cause issues. And then like I think the second I got out there, I was out there for like 30 seconds. I immediately was like, okay, this is too crazy.
Right.
I've kind of probably put myself in a bad situation. So I started to like get to the sideline. I think most of that time I was out there was like right on the edge, mainly because I did feel wrong in some way to have everybody crying around. Again, safety of the fans is paramount.
Of course.
And the players especially. And I think also what concerned me was like seeing staff members, they're overwhelmed, and it is a risk. I'm not worried about the field conditions or anything. The only thing I think running through my head was like, okay, like you might have just dove in the deep end. All right, time to like reel it back in. I certainly. It's funny. Simon Jordan. Some of the quotes that I remember reading that and feeling like ashamed, actually, the way he had portrayed it. And I understand.
You're ashamed of him? You're ashamed of how he said it? No.
You know, I think of myself, right? Like,
okay.
I think from his perspective, I get it. It was wrong to be on there, but I would have loved for him to have reached out and asked for my opinion before just saying I'm gormless. I think I got called like a middle earther of some sort. Like there was just some outrageous stuff said from him. And I don't know. I also feel like I represent like America like in some way, right? Like I'm an American. I'm doing that is like, oh great, you know, another idiot American over here. That's not great. Honestly, the one thing that came out of it is I tried to reach out to them. They didn't respond or I didn't get anything back. I was like, look, like I'm happy to chat with you. Come to a game, like experiences. Understand why in that moment that happened. Understand why I care so much about this team and why I'm so deeply invested in it emotionally. Like, and Simon, if you ever see this, come to a game. Like, we're open to you coming. We want you to come. We want you to experience and understand why Crawley Town is so special.
Simon Jordan, obviously from TalkSport. If you want
to. I mean, with TalkSport, you know, not just TalkSport, but I mean the British media. They always, you know, they'll come up with inflammatory statements to get reactions, to get clicks and all stuff. But like, I mean, I've had my fair share of bits of moments where I've gone, that's not quite right. You know, with things with any piece of media says.
Do you not think that, because as much as, looking back on it, what you did was, you know, it was wrong, okay? Maybe you shouldn't have. In the moment, though, I'll be honest, any footballing fan would be lying if they told you, if their team just got promoted or won the league and everyone was safe, they're on that pitch. They're on that pitch. Absolutely.
I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't be the first person to run on that pitch, but if 200 people had ran on, I'd go, well, I know I'll go on,
We're not endorsing it.
No, we're not endorsing it.
Yeah, I have to put a giant sign, like, do not pitch invade.
We'll try and edit.
Do not, please
don't. Invade unless Hunter's there.
We'll edit that on. We'll edit that, like the little big sign on. But I think in the moment when you get that emotion, you want to live in that moment and take it all in, run on the pitch, run near the players. As a fan, that's amazing because you're running on the pitch your team play on, you're running right near the players.
The other side of this that I don't think people understand is that in America, so when me growing up in college, if your team won in the last play of the game or it was a big game, everybody ran on. So Duke versus Virginia Tech, it was 2019 or 2020, I can't remember what year it was, but I remember sitting there and we hit a three with 3 seconds left. We hit a three, we're all going crazy, we're up by 2, and then they came down, who was it, Gray? He shot, missed the shot, and we all just erupted, and within half a second, everybody's out there jumping around, Enter Sandman's playing, truly a special moment. Right. That's, in America, that is glorified, and it's almost we saw this last weekend with Alabama versus Tennessee. Okay. Unfortunately, I had a bet on that game that didn't go through because of that. But I understand them. Everybody's on the field. They're ripping the goalpost down. It's a different environment.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's fair to say, I think in Britain, compared to maybe other countries, especially America, we've definitely got a bit of a different culture when it comes to fan culture. There's a bit more worry when it comes from stewards and police.
All things have happened in the past, and horrible things have happened.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a bad kind of rep historically.
At the same time, though, thank God nothing happened that night. Yeah. And also, I think you were aware of the situation that things were under control to some extent. But also at the same time, I think you should have been able to give your say on because you didn't. Hunter, would you run on the pitch again?
No. I will never run on the pitch. I can guarantee that. I've even gotten to the point now where after games, I'm so hesitant to even go on the other side of the fence. It ends. I'll wait until there's someone the other staff have walked out onto the side. Then I'll feel comfortable. Again, the field is for players, stands are for fans.
But what's the real night, right? Are you excited for Burnley away?
Yeah. Again, my one asterisk there is I keep being told I'm gonna freeze.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, to be fair, Crawley's not that bad.